All right, so the next story we're going to talk about, if you guys like what we do here, please make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond it, become a member as little as $5. We cover stories and have conversations Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. So a year after launch, PlayStation has reportedly paused a PS VR2 production due to slow sales. Now, I find this hilarious because I remember on this channel talking, you guys were saying that this thing is going to sell like hotcakes. This is going to be the best selling thing ever. And I went, it's a niche market. It's not going to sell that much, right? And here we are. What, one year later, they literally stopped making, right? They literally stopped making production of it because the sales were so slow, okay? So Sony has published 2 PS VR2 games since it launched a year ago. Fantastic. Sony has reportedly paused production on the PlayStation VR2 just 1 year after launch so it can deal with backlog of unsold units. Okay? A new report of Bloomberg claims that PlayStation VR2 shipments have been getting progressively smaller every quarter since the headset launched in February 2023, and Sony has now paused production altogether. I said the reason for this is that why would I buy a PSVR 2 headset when I can go buy another headset that can work with multiple things, right? Where this only works for the PlayStation, and you can only work if you have a PlayStation. So not only do people hard still to find PlayStations when it came out a year ago, you could buy them, but still, you got to buy a $500 box, then you got to buy a $500 headset, right? Just so you could go play 1 or 2 games that came out for them, right? Hence why they decided that they were going to take the PSVR 2 and start working with it so it could play other PC games, because that's a smart move to do, right? And I'm not being sarcastic. It's an actual smart move to do. I don't know why they did what they did. They're like, nope, our headset only works with PlayStation. Be like, okay, bold move. Let's see what happens. And we saw what happens, because now they stopped making the headset, and the headsets that are out there, they're now trying to work with them to work on PC as well. It says the report cites for research firm IDC, which tracks deliveries and retailers around the customer sales, which says that Sony has surplus assembled a PSVR 2 headset throughout the supply chain. Now, the PlayStation VR 2 was released on February 2023 at a retail price of $549 and $529 in pounds. But Sony also still yet to officially confirm how many units has sold to date. Well, you know what happens when you don't say the units that you sold? People were running with, oh, they're selling millions of them. They're flying off the shelf. See, they're not in stock anymore, so that means they're selling very well. Sure, if I put 10 on the shelf and 10 sell, and then I report that those 10 flew off the shelf really fast, then it sold really well. You're absolutely correct. Okay, so the previous estimate by IDC suggests that the sales had started slowly, suggesting around 270,000 units sold by the end of March of 2023. That's a huge number, huh? By Sony later claimed that PlayStation VR 2 sold around 600,000 units during the first 6 weeks of availability. Okay. In Bloomberg reports that IDC estimates that the sales declined to 435,000 in 2023 quarter 2, then 343,000 in quarter 3, and then 325,000 in quarter 4. Now, Sony first-party game support for PlayStation VR 2 has been slim. When the headset launched, Sony released Horizon Call of the Mountain and VR update to Gran Turismo 7. In the years since then, only other game Sony Interactive Entertainment has published for the headset has been Farewell Ultra, an online team-based shooter which also released in August and received a Metacritic score of 61. Earlier this year, the CCO Rec Room and popular VR social platform said there's no plans to bring it to PlayStation VR 2 because the studio couldn't justify the cost. That, quote, the ideal world that we could love to bring the Rec Room into PSVR 2, but we just can't justify the cost base of the numbers, Cameron Brown said in January. Sucks, I know, but that's the truth. Last month, Sony confirmed that testing the PlayStation VR 2 compatibility with PC, and the company aims to enable players to connect their PSVR 2 headset to PCs later this year in order to access more games. Well, here's another problem. Even with them moving it over, they got to lower that price. They got to lower that price point for the PSVR 2, even if it does work for games. So look, when companies come out and they're happy to tell you the number, okay, obviously they had a number in their head, right? Like, for instance, let's say when I go live today, I'm like, man, I want 20 people. We have 37 people. I'll be like, we're a huge success, okay? So, like, I asked for 20 people. We overshot that, and now I can go, hey, 30 and Still Gaming stream today. He had double the amount of people that watched that he thought he would, right? But if I didn't have that and less people showed up, okay, I wouldn't say anything, right? Because I don't want to promote that I got less people to come to my stream than I had the day before, right? So when companies come out and they say, oh, we sold 635,000 units in the first 3 weeks and whatnot, cool. But then that number where their expectations were, and then weeks after weeks and weeks go by, and they're like, oh, well, there goes that number. They don't want to say anything because it's not a success, okay? When they come out and tell you it's a success, that means they're happy with the number. If they never tell you the number, that means they underperformed, okay? Underperform doesn't mean failure. It just means that they didn't hit the number they thought they were going to hit at that thing. Take it with any game. Suicide Squad. Maybe they wanted to sell 4 million units, and it sold 3.6 million units. They went, that's below. Let's not talk about it, right? Type of thing, okay? And that's what happens. Now with the PSVR 2, stop selling, right? They got to get rid of the stock before they bring in more. They're not selling. Well, there's other units out there. There's other headsets out there that people can pay with their for their PC, their VR. You can get the Meta Quest, right? You can get these other systems that are around the same price, but yet you don't need a PlayStation, right? The PSVR 2, yeah, it's $549, but technically it's $1,000. Well, if I'm going to spend $1,000 on a headset, I can get a headset standalone for $300 less than that. And I don't need a computer. I don't need a console. I can just get a headset. So I think they priced themselves in a weird spot, and that you also needed a PlayStation. Now I get it. Okay, they want to keep their interior, like, we know that these are the fans and this is what they want. But at the same time, your headset only works for that console, and that was a dumb move. These are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think about the PSVR 2? Are you gonna go buy one out? If it goes on sale, are you waiting for them to fix it so it works with PC games? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.